Hi there, it's Joanna from Plymouth Township Parks and Rec. I am going to quickly show you how to do the masks that everybody is making for people in the healthcare industry. So you're going to start with 2 pieces of fabric. I cut these out already and the dimensions are 9.5 by 6.5. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of elastic, or I've actually used headbands or ponytail bands, anything you can, because I know elastic is hard to come by. And you're going to cut these into 7.5 pieces. So you're going to start and you're going to take your 2 pieces of fabric and you're going to put them right sides together. So basically the side that you want to be on the outside and the side that you want to be on the inside, you're going to place them together like so. Keep your elastic over here and you are going to start at the bottom center of your mask with the right side facing up, the side that you want to be out. You're just going to start right in the middle and you're going to do a quick back stitch and then stitch to the end. Back stitch. And stitch to the end. I'm going to leave my needle in there and I'm going to lift my presser foot and I'm going to spin this around. Leaving your presser foot up, you're going to take your first piece of elastic and you're going to stuff it in there all the way back to the needle. You're going to bring your fabric on top of that. You could still feel it in there, so I can feel it so I know where it is. Put my presser foot down and then I'm going to sew over this a few times, twice actually. So forward, back, and forward again. Now I'm going to stitch all the way to the end here. And I'm going to leave plenty of room because I got to get the other piece of elastic. So lift up your presser foot, find your other end of elastic, stuff that under there. Put your top fabric back on top, straighten it out, presser foot back down, and again sew over it twice. Forward, back, and then forward again. Okay, leaving your foot in, or your needle in, you're going to spin it around, presser foot back down, and you're going to sew to the very end, straight through. Come to the end, leave my needle in, spin it, get my second piece of elastic, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Presser foot up, stuff the elastic in there, put my top piece of fabric back on top, and my material always gets bunched, but in the end it usually turns out okay. Sew over it twice and forward. And sew to the end here. Leave some room because you got to dig out that piece of elastic again. Presser foot up. Stuff it in there. One of the mistakes I was making early on is I was going way too close to the edge and then I couldn't fit my elastic in there, so I kind of learned that one the hard way. Stitch it twice. Leave my needle in, spin it around. Now this is going to be the side where we started. So if you can see, this is where my original stitch was. I'm going to stitch to about here and I'm going to leave an opening so I can turn it inside out. And I'm going to back stitch to end that. Pull it out, cut it. Now I'm going to flip it inside out. Got to give my husband some credit here. He is videotaping me. This is probably not what he had in mind of doing right now, but it's for a good cause. All right, so now we have your mask that looks like this. So you have this opening here. So you're just going to tuck everything in And you're just going to do a real quick stitch. This is the bottom of your mask anyway, so, oh, I lost my thread. Some technical difficulties here. Okay, so you're just gonna do a quick stitch right through where that opening was. Put your foot down and you want a back stitch to hold it in place. Back stitch, forward, and then a quick back stitch. Okay, cut that off. All right, so now a lot of places were doing the 3 pinches on the end, but that was a little hard for me because of my OCD. I was trying to get them too even. So I have gone to 2 pinches and it has worked out just as good for me. I'm putting pins in to hold it into place. It's easier, but I'm putting them down low. That way I don't have to worry about pulling them out when I go to sew. So I'm just putting them down low so I can just go right through it. Okay, do the same thing to the other side. Make sure you keep your pinches going in the same direction. So I'm just simply pinching it like that and putting a pin in and then another and putting a pin in. Okay, so I like to look at it, eye it up here to make sure it's somewhat the same width. Looks pretty good, and then we're just gonna sink some stitches in there and that's it. So you just have to be careful and make sure you know which direction you're putting your fabric in. So you want to go with the fold. So for this one, I'm gonna kind of stuff it in under here. Make sure you put your presser foot back down. I was also making that mistake a lot of times. All right, I'm gonna back stitch, stitch, and then do another back stitch. Back stitch, forward stitch, and then just another quick back stitch. Cut that. And the same thing on the other side. Again, just making sure you know which direction your folds are going. So this one's gonna go like this. Presser foot down. Quick back stitch. That's it. All right, take this out, cut it off, take your pins out, and obviously you would cut all of your little strings, but now you can see, voila, we have made one of those masks. So thank you, good luck. If you need to know where to send them, feel free to post a message here and I can put you in contact with somewhere to send them. Thanks.